Heavy, fella. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Troy Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, this is The Blob. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, along with my super-powered companions. Head in a jar he go.
Hey.
And Slave 2.
What's up?
Welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the 2024, could possibly be a classic, but doubtful, Jason Statham action movie, The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham and a bunch of other people. The girl from Umbrella Academy, who I did not like. And let's jump into it. High level.
Yeah, Benny was chatting about this one last week as an action romp, and that it was.
Indeed.
Indeed. This was the stupidest, most fun movie I've watched in a while, and it was perfectly framed as just an action romp. It was really fun, and I was cracking up many a time. Mm-hmm. I love how silly it was. It was just the weirdest fucking movie. It, I don't know. It feels like a unbearable weight of massive talent piss take kind of thing, but it wasn't at all. At the same, I don't even know, but it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
That's me. Yeah, like it was good. I really enjoyed it. Like I didn't think I was going to, but I really enjoyed it.
I love movies like this. I love it. It's freaking great, dude. Great action, great freaking revenge action story. It was cool, man. I love secret little societies, little revenge. Statham. I don't have a problem with Statham like you guys said you do. He doesn't bother me. He's, Mr. Sexy British ass kicker, and I don't know, he kicked a lot of sexy British ass. It was great. It's freaking great. I loved it. It was just long enough too, like perfect length. That's it. I'm done.
Sure.
Next contestant.
Yeah, this is a stupid action stupid action movie. It's totally aware that it's a stupid action movie, and it leans into it, including fucking bee puns and shit. Like, it's just, it's just really dumb, but it works well because it's kind of funny, and I don't know. It's just like there's really well shot action in it.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of Statham, but I liked him here. Like, he's just doing what he does best, which is kicking ass. And not only that, you've got some great despicable fucking baddies that, you just really get it so bad. So yeah, it's just, it's an entertaining little romp. Classic? I don't know, but I definitely
maybe.
I don't know about that.
I think you stumbled upon I wouldn't say issue, but just like my thinking about Statham crystallized with your slip of the tongue with action figure. Like, he actually just looks like a plastic action figure that's kind of like walking across the street. Like, he just like stands there with his arms at his side, like scowling so often, and I just, he's kind of like a posable action figure of a human. And I'm not even necessarily saying that as an insult. I just, I don't know. Yeah. He's such a funny dude. He just stands there, man. Like in Snatch and Lock, Stock, he just always had a trench, and he would always just be like being sassy with his trench coat on. And in this one, he's got his fucking Carhartt jacket on and his trucker hat and his cans of gasoline, Like, it was, I don't know. It was really fun and really funny, dude.
There's something about that particular, like, outfit,
It was great.
The first incarnation when he goes after the place that's, like, right down the road, apparently. With the Carhartt and the fucking hat, yeah, it's very action.
So good. I love it. And I don't know. It's like it's a John Wick movie.
Yeah,
where like instead of his dog getting killed, like his childhood mom Claire Huxtable gets.
Dude, it's not his childhood
suicide,
mom. First of all.
I know it's not, but like Claire Huxtable was our childhood mom, and so like I'm just like I'm bringing Claire Huxtable into it, And
Tugging at
but
the old
it was like
heartstrings.
Mark Rober meets John Wick, with the like scam stuff. Like I don't know, it was really I was fucking cracking up, dude.
Yeah, I forget where I saw it, but somebody commented somewhere. It was like, "This is like we have John Wick at home." That's like we have this at home means.
No.
Yeah, totally.
Have you
No.
ever seen
Totally.
any of those?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, yeah.
There's like all these memes out there where like they'll like use a picture from like a bad 70s sci-fi movie, and it's like we have Star Trek at home. Like when your mom would be like, you can't, no, don't get that. We have that at home. Like, and it's always a version. So
Okay.
sort of.
It's like a huffy bicycle of John Wick or something.
Yeah,
I love it.
Okay. Why do you dislike?
I don't
why
know.
do you dislike Statham so much? What is your problem with him?
I don't dislike Statham. I don't know. He's not. I don't know. I don't dislike him. He's just not Arnie. He's not Sly. He's just like a dude that can punch people. I don't know. Like he's not Liam Neeson.
No.
He's not Keanu. He's not Patrick Swayze. You know what I mean? He's just like a fucking guy they found that had a Cockney accent in the late 80s. Made some movies with him, and now he's like this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. Is like I have nothing against Statham. I got nothing against The Rock. I've got nothing against Cena. But none of them are Arnie, and none of them are Sly, and it's just like a different generation of action hero. And like, I don't have dislike for that generation. It's just it's a different generation, and I prefer.
It's our generation. No, it's our generation. That's what it is. Arnold and Sly is not. They're not our generation, and
maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything there, but like, I got nothing against the guy. I don't give a shit. Like, he seems like a perfectly reasonable guy.
I mean, I don't like go mental over his movies, but like I do like I don't ever object when I like in The Italian Job, like he was good in The Italian Job, but he's always the same. Like he's always Statham in that kind of like action.
So is Arnie, and
exactly
so is Sly,
in that same
speaking.
kind of action star way. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like a Shakespearean actor. You know what I mean? Like I think Guy Ritchie found him. It seemed like Guy Ritchie found him, was like, "Hey man, you're cool. You want to be in this movie?" And then we got Lock, Stock, and then we got Snatch, and then he went on to do other stuff, and like good for him, man. And he's done well, and he's made some money, and that's great. And like, there's nothing, I don't find anything particularly offensive about him, but I think you're right. He's just kind of, I never really thought about this before, but he's kind of there. He does have a lot of charisma and charm when he wants to, and if the part calls for it. And I like that. And he's got this kind of, he's got this kind of cool English badass thing that I think was lacking from the lineup of like bruisers and action heroes for a long time. So I don't know. There's that.
Yeah.
And he can deliver a serious ass whooping as he does in this movie, man. So there's that too.
He does great action. I can't take that away from him.
No, you really can't, man. The Transporter was pretty damn tight, dude. The second one wasn't bad either, I can't think of anything that's like super standout that jumps out at me as like, oh man, that's a great Jason Statham movie. Like there aren't any real movies like that. That's for sure.
And maybe that's it. Maybe it's actually not about the Stathams and Momoas and Cenas and Rocks of the world as people. Like they all seem to have a rock solid work ethic, and the stuff that I admire about like a Keanu Reeves or even a Tom Cruise is like they're all into it, and maybe it's just the movies aren't really my thing, and therefore I just haven't really given a shit about the generation.
Sure,
kind of what I was going to say, and I don't think they always use him particularly well. Like I like him here. I like him subtle. Sometimes like they got him like delivering. I don't know, like dialogue that's just a little too much, at least in my opinion, with that British tough guy thing. And it just comes off sort of cartoonish or I don't know. Like, and not that there's anything wrong with cartoonish, just sometimes he's and maybe it's like, it's less him and more the movies, but I think when he's just kicking ass and he's being subtle about the quips and stuff, it comes off better than
I agree with what you just said. I think that's a pretty fair summation. And I think that while that is true, I think he's also gotten better at doing dialogue. But I agree with you that I think he's been improperly used in the past. You know what I mean? And I think like
And he was typecasting it with the Cockney shit.
Well, he's definitely typecast, but I think when they get him in and they hand him the script and like, okay, you're going to play this part, they really need to take his lines and his dialogue and tailor it more to him, because he's not like a classically trained actor who's going to take a look at the part and be like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm just blah, 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 right? You know what I mean? So I think tailoring it to him, I think, is probably smart. Like, again, he's been sort of misused, used in the wrong way, you know, whatever. I don't know. I feel like he kind of slides right into this one pretty nicely.
I mean, like, it's like Benny was saying with the puns and shit, like, you just can't take this too seriously. And as a result, it's more enjoyable, you know? Like, as a result, any silly lines are good instead of bad. As a result, any over Stathamisms are a positive instead of a negative. Like, I think all of it adds up to just being clearly intended to be fun as opposed to
totally, dude. Yes, and I think my reaction to the film was different than yours. Like, I didn't find it funny. None of it made me laugh. Like, to me, this movie is like a.
It's got to a little bit though.
It didn't. It's just more like a Constantine or like a National Treasure. It's like a fantasy movie. You know what I mean? And it's like it's cool. Like, this is the kind of thing I would have loved to have seen as a kid. It's like, oh, there's this cool secret society and they keep everything dialed in and in line, and you got
keep
like
everything in their beehives.
You know, whatever. And it's like they got you got your supervillain dude and Josh Hutcherson, and it was cool. I like that stuff, man. I think it's cool. That's what makes it fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's cool and great action, dude. You can't take that away from this movie. You know what I mean? And some great badassery. You know, it's like this is the scenario where, you know, some guy's like, they killed my best friend. Now I'm going to go kill everybody. And he actually does it all the way up to the president, man. You know what I mean? And it's like
fucking bananas, dude.
It is bananas, but it's so fun and it's so cool. And it's like at some point in everybody's life, you wished you could do that, man. And I think that's what's fun and cool about this movie for me.
Sure.
Natch.
Yeah. I think, you know, to refine my saying that it's funny, on the one hand, you've got like cheesy lines and cheesy puns, and like I think it's reasonable to say that this poking fun at itself a bit. And like, I didn't particularly find that funny. I found it charming because it was, you know, fun. But the bits that I found funny were like the hyper-violent stuff, you know, like
like what?
Fucking ratchet strapping the dude and then like driving the truck off the bridge, or like the stapler to the forehead, dude. Like, I was fucking losing it.
That was great.
It was like the older brother thing with the stapler. He's like, I'm just, you know, you're making me hit you with the stapler. You could stop, you know, I could stop it. You know, I could stop hitting you in the face with the fucking stapler.
I like when he very matter-of-factly grabs the first guy, the connected guy's hand, and just, you know, kind of goes right through the bandsaw, chops off all his fingers, and keeps doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so funny, dude.
It's
like,
awesome,
I had proper laughs every time there was one of those, man, because it was just. Some of them were whatever, like the dude getting hit in the throat with a dismantled shotgun barrel. It was like action movie stuff. Like, okay, but like some of them were fucking funny, man. They were just, I don't know.
No doubt.
That was what I was talking about with the humor.
Yeah, I get it, and rightly so. I mean, I don't know. It's just there's nothing like. There's also, I like movies where, you know, you get a bunch of mouthy jerks. Like that guy in the First Call Center, you know, and it's like, you're such a tool, dude. It would be so great to see you get whatever you got coming to you, and then that very thing happens in the very next frame, dude. And he gets
satisfying.
it, and it is satisfying, and he gets it with extreme prejudice. You know what I mean? It's like even going back to Felicia Rashad, like, you know, when you see Claire Huxtable and she's like going through the computer, dude, and you're just like, and she's so nice and she's so great. I mean, she's Claire Huxtable, dude. And then she gets all of her money wiped out, dude, and it's like, You know, and then he's like, well, now it's time for everybody to die. It's
pretty good.
It's fucking great, dude.
It's just, but it is just really stupid.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
I mean,
man.
John
I don't
Wick's
know.
dog getting killed is pretty fucking stupid.
Well, that's
like,
stupid
I get
too.
it.
I mean, it's the same, but
Well,
that's the same thing,
I'm
exact
not-
same idea. Yeah.
I'm
What?
not saying it's stupid that's
Like
a
it's a
bad
bad
thing.
thing. Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
stupid. It's stupid, and that's what makes it great. Like it's not.
Yeah, I agree.
You're
Yeah.
not supposed to take this movie. Doesn't take itself seriously. So I don't. You know.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
Yeah.
It's like Renfield or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly.
think. Yeah. I mean, just thinking about John Wick for a millisecond, like it is just like John Wick because John Wick loses his dog and that's what starts the entire 4-movie killing spree. You know what I mean? And I mean, literally, that's what it
Culminates in a
is.
Fall down the stairs or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's falling down the stairs 20 million times, right? And but this movie does pretty much the exact same thing. It's actually kind of a carbon copy of John Wick. Now that I'm thinking about it, because
Yeah,
you know,
to a degree.
in John Wick we had like this whole, you know, as we went into the second film and then the subsequent movies, we find out that there's this whole secret world and all this lore about all of these people and the high table and all of this bullshit, right? And in this movie, it's kind of the same thing. It turns out that he's the ex-beekeeper, and the beekeepers are the people that keep the freaking equilibrium in the country or whatever, dude. And so it really is exactly
so
like
nothing,
John
and it was
Wick,
great.
dude. It's exactly like John Wick, dude. It's the same exact formula, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's just
But it was
making
like-
me happy.
Exactly. But it was like not. It was like not anywhere near as attempting to like flesh things out as John Wick. You know, it was like.
It's funny, Ben.
You know, it's just like I don't know, man. Just like the beekeeper thing, where it was like
Smasher.
I'm a beekeeper, or whatever. What did you send through?
Sorry, dude. I'm hung up on this picture, man. Because now I kind of get it. It's like, it's
Okay.
not that we have that at home. It's that we have like the knockoff that's not as good as that at home.
You got the
Yeah,
Wayne
yeah,
Manor
yeah.
at home, yeah.
You got the Army Pete, right? Not the G.I. Joe.
Not G.I.
Exactly.
Joe. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. That's funny. Yeah.
It's Eddie Murphy, you know, his dad makes him the hamburger with like the, you know, peppers and onions and shit. And then he's like, cries over it because everybody else has McDonald's.
Yeah. So like this one wasn't as, I don't know, well thought out is probably not the right term, but like something about the beekeeper thing to me was really funny, where it was just like, I'm a beekeeper. And then everyone kind of is like, you're a what? He keeps bees. He likes honey. And then like the FBI guy's like, did you say beekeeper? Let's stick to what we know. And then the ex-CIA guy's like, beekeeper, you're fucked, you know? And then it's like, you're fucked. And then like the other beekeeper, fucking Harley Quinn, comes in with a chain gun and gets put down in like five fucking seconds.
I was like,
and then they're like, beekeepers are out.
I thought she should. I thought it should have
was- I
taken
don't know,
longer
man. It was funny.
for her to die. Well, I mean, look, if
Slightly
the
longer.
beekeepers are
Yeah.
so badass, right? And it's Jeremy Irons, dude. Okay, Jeremy Irons, British,
Nah, hey, man.
classically trained, Shakespearean trained actor, is in this movie, and I still almost can't believe
Yeah,
it, dude. But
I love
I love how into it he was. And, you know, when he's telling all of those SEAL Team 6 Navy guys, the Delta guys, whatever, he was like, you know, if the beekeeper, if the beekeeper was here, you'd all be dead already.
He's like, you're all a bunch of pussies. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't even know what I
But
was
that's
saying.
it. They're
dude.
just like,
Yeah.
he's a beekeeper. I don't even know. Like, it was funny. It was like one of those like paper dolls that you fold the dress tabs over the shoulders, and you're like, I've got a doll now. It's like, nah, you got a piece of paper with another piece of paper folded
Yeah.
over it, bro. Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the lore here, and I love that it was kind of a nothing. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not explaining it well, but
No, you're not, but it's okay.
Well,
I think,
the John Wick, they really, really, really fucking tried to lore burger it out. You know, they're fucking coins and shit, and cell phone messages that
right.
go global and shit. Like,
Oh yeah, like whole secret world of the.
and this is just like, yeah, they're these guys that kill everyone and protect the hive.
well, I
It's
mean,
like,
they
okay.
they explained enough of it, you know what I mean, for it to be
Yeah.
understood. It wasn't just like, everybody's running around going, "What the hell is a beekeeper?" Oh, I mean, it was funny how he kept actual bees, so there was like all that confusion about that part, kind of. That was kind
Yeah.
of funny. But I think, I mean, there was
And throws jars of honey as weapons. Like, come on, that was pretty good.
that was awesome, dude. But there was, so there was enough lore for it to be, explained. It wasn't like anybody was sitting there going, "What in the hell is going on here?" You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I
There's no point in digging that deep into it. I think.
I'm not trying to dig
That's
deep into it.
probably where
I'm
we are. No, I
thinking,
am, and I think your hesitance is like, let's just pull back from this. I think.
yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm thinking about what Ben just said about John Wick. But as they started to and what you said, like they tried to kind of lore out with it. You know what I mean? And like build this kind of backstory. And like on the one hand, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
whole secret world of assassins. Like when they really started going crazy with it, I was like, I don't know if I'm into all of this. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're just fun action movies, man. And I think like one thing that I've been thinking about like the last year for sure is like when we watch these movies, a lot of them, like what would the 10-year-old me have thought of this movie? You know what I mean? Like, what would a younger
That's the coolest
version of
thing ever.
myself? Yeah, what I would have thought of this movie? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Loved
so
it.
I try to look at it through that lens as well, and then sometimes try to combine like my adult view and that view. You know what I mean? And land in I don't know what I think would be a more appropriate space. Maybe I don't know.
And I think that's a good lens for sure. Like,
Right?
to my bitching about my own taking things too seriously thing over the last couple dozen movies. Like it's
There you
just,
go.
it's a stupid perspective to have. It's like we're not fucking inside the actor's fucking studio here. It's like just enjoy a movie for what it is or don't watch it. Like who gives a fuck?
Exactly, man. Like that's how I felt when we were talking about National Treasure. You know what I mean? You guys were like, "Oh, this is so unbelievable." I was like, "It's supposed to be."
Yeah. I mean National Treasure like is very much like this in the sense that it's
Definitely, dude. It's
ridiculous.
It's probably more
kind of
like,
on purpose. But I think this was more on purpose than that was.
I feel like those two movies are closer than this and John Wick, sort of. There's like a weird love
Yeah,
triangle of
fair.
movies going on here that's kind of interesting and odd.
I guess.
Maybe.
I just don't see a world where at any point anyone making this movie was taking it too seriously.
No way.
Where I would say like maybe
But, like-
National Treasure has a little bit more of taking itself seriously, but I mean whatever. We already talked about that one, so who gives a
Maybe
fuck, but-
in the sense of historical fact, maybe, but I don't think so, man. I mean, again, that's a lot like this. It's like a fun romp with like some weird lore kind of backstory, secret treasure. I mean, but this one, same sort of thing. Like I don't know what taking this movie seriously would even mean. Like if anybody's
think that- I
if
think
anybody's
the
expecting
director-
to win, go.
Not the director, sorry. The writer has a movie that I think is that, which is Equilibrium with Gun Kata and Batman. Like it is another vehicle for action and it takes itself seriously and it's fucking cheesy as hell. I like it. It's a really, really ridiculous movie, but I think that is a version of this movie that takes itself more seriously. Like I think it was trying to be more serious while also being a vehicle for action. Like all these movies generally are vehicles for action. John Wick, clearly. You could say the same about National Treasure, a different type of action. It's not punch 'em ups. It's like swashbuckly action, but like they're all vehicles for action movies, and this one is taking itself least seriously, and it's delightful as a result. God damn it, that's a death.
That is a death, actually. You know what? I think I'm just looking up this guy Kurt Wimmer, and like Equilibrium, I've heard really good things about, but like,
Have you not seen that? That's like the most Kevin Moeller fucking movie.
is it really?
Yeah, dude. Like this,
I know.
I'm
Right.
surprised you aren't like, hang on, and you roll up your sleeve, and there's like a gun kata tattoo on your fucking shoulder, dude. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you must have seen that one, Heegs.
I don't think I did.
Really? Dude, we have to do that now. Like, that is now a thing. It's really ridiculous. I can't even remember it. I used to like watch it half drunk with Sam King, like on repeat.
There you go.
Oh, no, yeah, I've seen that.
And I don't even remember the movie other than it's like in a distant future where people only beat each other up with
Christian
guns.
Gun
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 Fu.
In a world where gun fu is the only currency.
What the hell are they called?
I don't even remember, dude.
Tetragrammaton?
Yeah,
something?
the tetrahedrons. Is that what you said?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's like there's like some name.
Yeah. The clerics, the gun clerics, or something.
No, that was it. Yeah, I think that's it. The
So, yeah,
clerics. I remember this movie.
It's so dumb.
No, well, yeah, but it was like the grammaton.
Yeah, grammaton clerics. That's what it is. Yeah. And like it's got fucking Sean Bean and Christian Bale in it, dude. Like it should be a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It should not be a Christian Bale movie, you know? Like I don't know. It's so ridiculous. And this movie is also ridiculous, but this movie knows it's ridiculous, whereas that movie I don't think kind of does.
No, it was so
It was like
I mean,
of trying to matrix out a bit or something.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
yeah. It was trying to be a
sure.
franchise.
I think one thing I will say, like about this writer, like he also did the Total Recall remake and the Point Break remake. So,
which like I think says a lot. I mean, I saw that and was like, oh, that explains honestly the Cheese Dicky bullshit writing, because like the Total Recall remake shouldn't have been made. Like, I just don't care about. And same with, I haven't seen the Point Break remake, but like I imagine it's the same thing.
both of those movies, Point Break is actually a good movie. It's just it
The new
shouldn't
one,
be.
obviously.
It should not be called Point Break. It's like we just talked about a movie like this, very similar. I was saying the exact same thing. Like this movie, the Point Break movie should not be called Point Break. Like it really has nothing to do with the first movie at all, you know? And Total Recall, like, I don't know. I didn't love it, but visually it was very cool and it had some cool elements to it, you know? So that movie also should have just been, they should have just named that something else and just made that another project. Because it was so different from the original film. But, you know, I don't know. I'm seeing a common thread there, except that this movie, nobody's taking it too seriously. Thankfully, nobody's taking it too seriously.
This could have been a Nick Cage movie, man. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's something about it.
Yeah, but you need somebody that's like really physically capable. And quite honestly, like Statham, even if you were making a list, Statham would be at the top because he's really good like that, man. You know, he's like,
Statham would out physicalities Nick Cage in the 90s. Like
100%.
Even Nick Cage in his prime isn't as physical as you need to be here. But
yeah, and you know, like
I mean, Cage isn't as physical as he needed to be, whereas Statham is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And he's also not like a monster like Cena and The Rock, you know, or Arnold or Sly. You know, he's like kind of like a leaner dude, you know. So I don't know. I think he fits in pretty damn good here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, thumbs up all around. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
They killed my friend, and now I'm gonna kill everyone.
He wasn't even that though. It was like an elder abuse kind of infomercial, you know.
What do you mean?
Don't take advantage of old people.
Oh, that was
great, nice to me.
Like,
I loved it.
It was sort of it's kind of a revenge story for like, you know, or it's like a gratifying revenge story for everybody that's ever been ripped off too. Like
everyone's
that's how
fucking mom or dad who got scammed.
Yeah, or
even anybody who's like been the subject.
That's
of
what I mean,
attempted
Ben. That's
stuff,
what I mean.
You know, like everybody who's answered that.
I would even broaden it to like anybody that's gotten ripped off in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And you were like just feeling the burn so hard.
Yeah, like,
man,
I wish I could
wanting
sort this
that
guy
you could
out.
do something, but you couldn't do something. So that
Yeah,
was
dude.
what kind of immediately jumped out at me. You know what I mean? It was like as soon as he started down the path with the gas cans. I was like, this is like for everybody that's ever been ripped off, like even in the most minor way. And I think that's really what is like the great part of this movie, man.
Yeah. It's a daydream. It is like the daydream that you
Totally.
have after
It's
you get ripped off. You're like,
dude,
if I
yes.
saw this guy, I would fucking kill him and I would kill his mob and I would kill his boss. And you're like, okay, guy.
Totally.
This is the movie equivalent of coming up with the best comeback 7 days after the guy took your fucking lunch money.
Yes, it is definitely that.
And he's
100%.
he's such an action figure, Benny. I love that you Freudian slipped that. It's like,
because that's what he
I
is.
love when he walks into the thing in the beginning and he's like, "You all should be ashamed of yourselves."
I love that,
like,
dude.
repeat after me. They're all like, fuck you,
Yeah.
boomer. And then he just absolutely fucking annihilates that one random dude on the phone. And they're all like, oh.
Yeah. It kind of had
oh
like
my
a
God.
it kind of had a taste of Gran Torino in that respect, you know, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
older dude, you
Yeah.
know, like
Bit
I
of
haven't
Taken,
seen
bit of Gran
all
Torino,
I
bit of
haven't
Wick.
seen all of that, but like Gran Torino is like a good movie, you know what I mean?
That
Like,
is a good flick, yeah.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie, you know what I mean? In the sense that he directed it as well, so
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it kind of had for a little bit had that vibe there, you know, it's cool. I mean, Statham's only like 55; he's not like that old.
Yeah.
Or maybe that is.
I mean, hey, whatever. Can we talk about the scammer stuff and the
Whatever.
I
Yeah,
think that
go
would
for
be a useful
a useful use of our time.
place to kind of see where it goes. I love that the movie, to what we talked about a second ago, I love that the movie's about dickhead scammers. And have you guys
Totally.
seen any of the Mark Rober scammer stuff? Like the glitter bomb shit, I imagine you're familiar with. The porch pirate stuff.
Porch pirate? What do you mean? Just people stealing shit off your
So like
porches?
there's this dude Mark Rober, he's a big YouTuber. He's kind of like a engineering educational YouTuber. You'd recognize him probably. He's like,
Sure.
I made the world's largest fucking Nerf gun or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, right.
And he's ex NASA or something, and he's like he's a good YouTuber. And 4 years ago maybe, he made a glitter bomb package with like tracking in it to fuck with porch pirates. And so like they put these packages around and then porch pirates would steal them and then it would like video record them having glitter bomb go off in their house because fuck those guys for stealing stuff, and it turned into this kind of viral thing.
Nice.
So like cool. Kind of vigilante-ish.
I
And then it turned into like the first one was just glitter bombs, and then the second year he did it, it was like glitter bombs and cameras and fart spray, and the third one was like, you know, so it's an entertaining watch.
fart
And then
spray?
like maybe like really skunk spray kind of stuff, like just like filling the person's car with fucking skunk spray or house and just fucking with porch pirates, which is
I
like,
remember
I can get behind
buying
that.
fart spray at various different novelty shops back when those were a thing, and you know, I never thought they were particularly good. I was just wondering if fart spray technology had.
Well, I don't know if it was
changed in the
like
last
novelty
20
shop
years.
fart spray. I think it was like go online and get like, it's kind of like, you know, there were laser pointers, and then there was like take down a fucking airplane green laser pointers. It's that equivalent fart spray, I think, where it's
Okay,
like you
all
go
right.
online to the fucking farts.com and get like the legit shit, you know?
Fartspray.com.
Exactly.
Probably
if
exists.
it doesn't exist, it needs to exist.
It should exist.
And so he did
right?
all that porch pirate shit, and then a couple years in, he did a huge collaboration with some other YouTubers who I don't know that was like, we're gonna figure out who these fucking scammers are, and we're gonna fuck with them. And they ended up it's a worth watching. It's a couple of videos where like they track down these scammers into a place in India, and then they fucking hack into these guys' buildings and are like watching them live on camera and fucking with these scammers, and like
What?
it's equally entertaining and vigilante-ish.
But better because it's actually real. Yeah.
Yeah, and like this movie really reminds me of that, where it's just like these guys are taking it upon themselves to strike back, you know, against this kind of hydra where, you know, you shut the office down and then another one opens up down the road and it's just these scamming fucks.
Totally.
So I just assumed everyone was familiar with the Rover stuff just because of how much YouTube pushes it, but
Not even at all. No.
worth checking out. Like there's a couple of 20-minute videos that are interesting.
I'm remembering a TED talk from James Veitch. I think that's how you say it. He's a comedian. The premise is like, this is what happens when we reply to spam email. So like he would get like for instance, the Nigerian prince, email or whatever. And he would just like follow it down the path, like, and fuck with the people, like just back and forth, like just, and like would invent shit to, like, oh God, I'm sorry. I meant to send the money to you, but this happened. Can you help me? Like he was just, like,
I love it.
Reeled them in and just kept them going and going and going with the whole
Totally,
thing.
man.
I like that a lot, man. That's gratifying.
So just that subtle vigilantism is great.
Yeah.
And this is the daydream of it, But I have recently heard, because like I watched the Rover stuff, and I recently read something about a legit scam that was basically like this one, where they run the scam, and so you can remote into someone's computer by tricking them into installing some remote software. And then I never really knew this, but like in Google Chrome or any other browser, for example, if you right click and hit inspect, you can actually like look at the code of the screen you're watching, like you're seeing, but it's not really kind of connected to the internet. So like you can go into the inspect browser and change something, and it changes how the website looks, but it's not actually like interacting with the internet. And so these scammers get access to your computer, so like your grandma's computer or something, and they go in and they inspect the webpage for the bank, and they find the entry that says $100, and they change the text in that field and hit enter, and then it looks like they've deposited 50 grand into your account where they haven't. They've just changed the webpage.
That's crazy.
And then they say, oh fuck, I was supposed to be 500 but it was 5,000, can you wire me? I'm going to lose my job. So that literally is a legit scam, and people think that it's real because the websites just show you the information, but it's just these guys changing text entries in the web browser.
Sure.
And so that was kind of interesting too, in the fact that it's like, that's a legit scam. And like, I just, all of the scammy shit aside, I love that it's like a legit scam where this guy is a kind of a Batman villain of a Wolf of Wall Street scammer, and then he gets his comeuppance. So like, there's a lot to the scam element that I like here.
Yeah, 100%, man.
And like my in-laws have gotten scammed a couple times. Like,
really?
I got a call one day and they were like, I just installed this antivirus thing on my computer, and
oh my God,
this guy on the phone called me, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I'll get in the car. I went over there and nuked his fucking computer, and we changed all of his you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then that was a couple years ago, and then like 6 months ago, he got ripped off on Facebook Marketplace for like 6 G's for a tractor that didn't exist. So like, it happens a lot. So it's even more like fuck you about this particular flick. Like I think the anger is real here, just how close.
Well, definitely. So that really
us get to that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
because we're savvy, but a lot of people aren't.
No, 100%. I mean, but I would think that even hits closer to home for you. You know what I mean? Having sort of directly dealt with that, like I never saw that guy that you just mentioned. And I mean, I don't know. I learned a long time ago. Like, I just
ignore all this shit.
I don't answer spam. I don't answer spam text. I don't do any of it, dude, ever.
Yeah,
dude.
Don't
do it.
Wednesday, a few days ago, he was like, my computer's weird. And I sat down and I need to go over there again. And it's like all these notifications of like antivirus, like he's done something where he's installed something that's taking over his browser and saying all this antivirus shit, click here. And it's like, it's a Mac, dude.
Totally.
Like, fuck me. So this hit at the right time for me. I'm very into punching scammers in the head.
Totally, man. I think
my poor brother Jim keeps getting
really
stuff. I'm like, he just doesn't. He's never, he just his first computer he got like maybe like 4 years ago or something. So like he just doesn't apparently have like the savvy to realize like, no, don't click on that thing, dude. That's not real.
Right,
like that kind of a thing. Like he just doesn't, have a good sense for it at all. So like shit keeps happening. He's never been like
taken,
taken,
it's not
cleaners or anything, but like, like he's ended up like with a subscription to like a book club or something that like you can't like get rid of for whatever reason, and it's like stupid shit like that.
Dude,
Like,
wouldn't it be funny if like Columbia House was now like scamming people online?
Scammers.
I've scammed you out of a penny online.
We've sent you the same Aerosmith and Alanis Morissette albums. You now owe us $50. That reminds me, actually, I hadn't thought about it, but in Port-au-Prince, when we were setting up our base there, we had internet, obviously, and really funny shit happened. Like, this is a bit of a massive cul-de-sac, but just like a couple of things about it is like, when we moved in, the earthquake knocked over the back wall to the property. I'm not sure if we've ever talked about this on the show, but when we were rebuilding the wall, the neighbors were like, can you leave a couple of bricks out of the wall and we'll sell you beer through the wall? And we're like, yes.
Okay.
And so we had this thing called the hole in the wall, and like there was a little bell that you rang and you could go up to the hole in the wall and get beer. Because like if you were outside, you work all day, you know, in the heat and you just want a beer. But like one of the first things we did first week we were there was we walked down the street with a case of beer to have a beer at the end of the day, because there were 30 of us and each one of us had a fucking beer. But you walk down the street with a case of beer and like that's like a week's salary for people. And so these people are coming off of a traumatic experience and they're seeing these fucking white bread pieces of shit walk by with a case of beer. And they're like, fuck you, guy, you know, I haven't eaten today. And so like the hole in the wall solved that problem of like, you know, we could
sort of clandestinely
have a beer, but not have it in the face of people. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. You get what I'm saying. And so, like, over the course of the next year, we put this fucking family's kids through school with the amount of beer we bought. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
And so, like, it was great for them. It was great for us, whatever. And so there's, like, an older son who was, like, loving the fucking hole in the wall. And he came up to me one day and he's like, hey, you guys got Wi-Fi over here, huh? And we're like, yeah. He's like, can I have the password? And I was like, why do you want the password besides the obvious? He's like, I want to start an internet cafe. And it was like, no, you know, like, no, you can't have the password to our Wi-Fi, and no, you can't start an internet cafe on our fucking internet, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so, like, that's just like a little bit of backstory. But we had all these like local kids that would come and work with us, and we were mentoring them, and like, you know, whatever.
Sure.
And like, it was the first time they had the internet, and so they would, you know, we would let them use the internet to do what they wanted to do. And being young men, you can imagine what they wanted to do with the internet. Sure. And like, they had no fucking idea about anything. And so they would see these ads on the side of Facebook, or it was like, local girls want to meet you. Click here. And they would be like, click, 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 click. And like, they could nuke a computer in like 5 minutes, dude. Like the amount of times that like one of the laptops just got fucking destroyed with malware because they were like, local girls want to chat, you know. It was so funny, dude. Like, wow. It was the same idea. It's like they just weren't savvy. They had no idea.
Right. It's funny, I don't think about this a whole lot because I don't ever have problems with this, and you guys don't, and none of the other people that
we're nerdier kind of people too.
Yeah, I mean, none of the other people I know really have problems like this, so I don't really think about it a whole lot, but I guess it does go on a lot, you know? I mean, case in point, you both have direct contact with it through, you know, family members, so I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I feel like this is the kind of thing my brother would fall victim to.
Maybe he has. He just hasn't told you. You asked him. And
he's like, he's just super like, you know, not really with it on like computer. I mean, he kind of is actually. Now that I think about it, he knows how to use.
But it's not people being stupid. It's just they're not savvy on computers. We've spent a lot of time on them. Yeah, that's all it is.
100%.
Develop a sense for like what's real and what's bullshit just by using stuff for a while. And, you know, if you don't know, like, you know, like you go to that website where like the Windows is having a problem thing pops up on your screen. And like, you're like, oh God, what's going on? You click on it and you're like, you know, exactly.
And the first time you're like, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh, what did I do?
oh no. Oh no.
But the beauty of it too is like the cleverness with which these phishing scammers do their thing is like often when something is installed on the computer because you clicked on the wrong thing, it doesn't take effect until you turn the computer off and reboot it. And most people's panic is just to shut the thing off. So like they're inevitably like setting in motion the problem by freaking out about it too. Like there's a lot of really crazy, clever shit here. And I don't know. It's just I love the comic bookification of these villains in this one. Like it's just chef's kiss because scammers are so punchable, and they made it into like that second dude with the stapler had the fucking Riddler style goat suit. It was just this guy needs to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
so Wolf of Wall Street, dude. I love the fact.
Totally, but like a sort of like a C plus level Wolf of Wall Street guy. You know what I mean? Like he was kind of from the dungeon, man. But yeah, he definitely had it coming to him. That was what was cool, was that we keep getting more levels of scumbag scammers that had it coming to him. You know what I mean? Culminating with Josh Hutcherson, who I really like, man. He he's obviously he's a younger actor, but he's really good, man, and he's really starting to show some cool range in some of the projects that he's doing. And I think this one is one of them, man. You know, he plays like a really loathable, you really want to punch him hard, scuzzy little shitbag, you know, with a lot of money. And it's very gratifying when he gets his comeuppance, you know.
No doubt.
So all of those people getting their comeuppance was great. Very gratifying.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like that extra secret sauce of the fuck you-ness of the two call centers. You know, the first one being like, fuck you, boomer, or whatever. Like the call center guys on the phone's like, I'm not hanging up the phone. And then like one punch later, they're all like, oh. Yeah. And it's how anybody would be, you know? Like if somebody came into the room and Jason Statham's, I'd just be like, yep. And I'm all set with that. Like, I don't want to fucking fight Jason Statham either, you know? But
yeah. I
don't know. Just, I love how tough everybody was. And it was the Mike Tyson thing. Everyone's got to play until they're punched in the face. Like, it was goddamn, it was beautiful.
It was. And there was also, like, and you'll definitely appreciate this, Chad, and probably you, Ben, too, Ben, is there was multiple levels of we're so SWAT in this movie, dude. Like everybody was so fucking SWAT in this movie, dude. Even, you know, we get the FBI SWAT team, actual FBI SWAT team. We got the Deltas and the SEAL Team 6
the Delta
guys.
fake SWAT teams.
Oh my God, dude. There was so much of that, dude. It was great. I loved it.
And it escalates. Like I think you mentioned earlier, it's just like
Secret Service SWAT. I mean, shit, dude. We had SWAT coming out.
It's so tropey to build on it and like start with like a couple of security guards in the front. Like they were like Paul Blart Mall Cop in front of the office building. They get their asses kicked,
and that was
and then it
really
escalates all the way up to the Secret Service or whatever. And at the end, you know, like it's and randomly a bunch of weird South African thugs or whatever the fuck. Who that was fucking great, dude. Those guys,
stupidest. Like.
I don't really understand
them though, dude.
I did too. I loved them too. I was like, when I first saw them, I was like, oh, Ulysses Claw is in this movie. Like he sounded,
made no
acted
sense. It was
and
so
sounded
good.
just like Andy Serkis in the first Black Panther movie, and I was like, okay. But then I was like,
he did,
yeah,
right. And then I was like, why are these guys in this? Like, where do they fit in this whole picture of
this random muscle?
There were some facial hair decisions.
There were a couple of facial hair decisions made. We should actually probably Steak and Mustache's asterisks out to that at some stage.
I mean,
I think weren't they Derek and the Dominoes, Hutcherson's muscle buddies or some shit? I don't know, man. God damn, they're funny.
I don't remember who they were, and I actually watched this twice. It was short enough that I was able to give it a couple of watches.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really get where the South African badass guy came in and his little thuggies, but you know, it was like whatever, more meat for the grinder, man. And this is a meat. This is a meat grinder movie, just like John Wick. So, John Wick, excuse me. So, it was like whatever.
Shout out to that dude because he's not a South African dude. He's just an American guy because he really fucking sold the caricature of, you know, I can't remember what's the name of the band that Yolandi and the fucking dude with the tattoos of dicks all over his face or whatever.
Shit.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's
They
a
call
Dutch
themselves
word.
Zeph.
No, it's
Die
like
Antwoord. Die Antwoord.
that's it.
It was chappy. It was like the Die Antwoord dudes.
D Antwoord.
D Antwoord. It was kind of the D Antwoord guys meets Ulysses from whatever fucking Marvel movie that was.
Yeah. It was. It kind of was that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get down with that.
I loved him. I fucking love that guy.
I was half expecting.
That's
Chappie
it.
to show up.
That's it, dude.
Fucking help Clay take
No, he
everybody
was
The
a
out.
guy
good
is like,
good
he's
addition.
just like fucking brew, you know, like he keeps
Yeah.
fucking talking about all this shit, and then he's just like, I killed one, you know, and he has a fucking fake leg, and then that comes into play later where Statham sees it, just like kicks it out and fucking stabs him in the neck. Like, oh my god, dude, it was just fuck me. This is a fun movie and so dumb.
Did you notice the blooper with him at the end with the South African guy?
Nope.
Like he was standing there, and it was like right at that point where you're like, how is Jason Statham going to get out of this? Right? Was on his knees. The guy had the gun to his head, and like, what's her name from the Umbrella Academy was like, no, don't shoot him. And then Statham, gets the drop on him and shoots him in the arm, and his whole right shoulder is bloody and bleeding. And then when they go to the next cut, the shirt is completely clean.
Oh no, I didn't.
I was-
yeah.
I
was too
haven't
busy
seen-
looking at like the hole in his cheek or something. He gets shot in the cheek, and there's like blood spurting out.
I hadn't seen an obvious goof like that in a while, so it kind of
Oh, like a continuity error or whatever.
jumped out
Yeah,
at me.
fair enough.
It's like,
I love that the guy kept on ticking, man. Like he got shot in the fucking face, and then he's just like, I'm just gonna go back in the house. That was great, man. I don't know. Like, I mean, we're coming off of the actual attempted assassination of a former president, so
Totally.
like there's something in this space. We were recently talking about Civil War, the Garland flick, and then this, and like the escalation to the president thing here is interesting and silly and dumb. But like the ease with which he gets onto this compound and just the sheer number of FBI and Secret Service people that get their shit pushed in is
So
just
good.
hilarious, man.
It
It's
is
like,
so
there is
good.
no fucking universe where half of this shit happens. They're like, he's outside, and he's just like doop-a-doop-a-doop, drinking champagne and shit.
dude,
Like,
I
it was
loved
so funny.
how he infiltrated the whole compound, dude, underneath
God,
the
it's
van.
fun.
It was great with the skateboard. It was perfect. It was so
I
great.
mean, okay, fine, skateboard, but like when he's walking around the cocktail party and you're telling me it's like, it was kind of like he's on the lawn and then like 500 people go to the lawn and there's no one else anywhere else on the property. And he's like, he's back
Yes.
inside, and 500 people go inside. It's like, dude, there would be so many people all over that fucking place.
They would,
It's
yeah.
not
And
even-
it
oh my
definitely had like a farcical quality to it. You know
was
what I mean?
fun, yeah.
It was almost like a Three's Company, Benny Hill kind of
It kind of,
moment
yeah.
there at the end. You know what I mean?
It's
Where
the
it
running
was
through the
just-
hallway kind of shtick from the
He's
80s.
like,
you know,
White,
like, in
he's
one door, out the
over
other door.
there now. Ba, 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 you know?
Yeah, Benny Hill, exactly.
Yeah, that was definitely goofy, man. But like, again, like the
Well,
other, the other element. I mean, I didn't exactly phrase it like this. Is that there's nothing like a good ultimate agent movie. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in the sense of like a James Bond, dude. And this guy is definitely an ultimate agent. You know what I mean? And like he ultimately thwarts everybody to get into that compound, dude, with the little van trick, and then he throws on the Secret Service We're So SWAT uniform and like all that stuff. I just loved it, man. I love that stuff. I love a good ultimate
Yeah.
agent.
Yeah, he was ultimate.
Yes, Ben.
On that subject,
Speaking of ultimate agents,
we did watch the latest Guy Ritchie movie with Henry Cavill. I
Gentleman?
forget what the hell it's called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Richie?
wait, what was it? The Gentleman? I couldn't hear you because Chad was chatting.
Interrupting.
Chatting. Sorry.
Okay, I'll
Hold
back
on
to
one sec there, Mulvey. Just punching that up right now on my old computer.
2 seconds there. The Ministry of Ungentlemen.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is that Guy Ritchie?
What?
And he
Hold on
he
a
wrote the
second, man. I
screenplay.
never even heard of this. Ministry.
But it's based on a true story, and the guy they based it on was apparently the the template. for
Really?
James Bond.
Yeah, right on.
Right, it was like the inspiration. I think that was who the character was based on.
The British military
very-
recruits
I
a
would-
small
I would-
group of highly skilled soldiers. Sorry.
I would throw that. I'd throw that right in there. It's fucking.
You've seen this?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I thought you were talking
I've
about.
never
Wasn't there like
even-
a McConaughey one recently, a couple years ago that he did? Do you know which one I'm
I
talking
never
about?
even heard of
I haven't
this,
even
man.
heard about this one.
I know. What? How have I not heard of this movie?
The whole time Snaps and I were watching it, we were thinking like, this is like what I wanted Inglorious Bastards to be.
Okay.
you know?
Wow.
Sure.
It's totally like a Nazi fighting movie, but it's like sprawling. It's less like a play. It's more like lots of different locations and lots of
Yeah, cool.
lots of Nazi ass kicking going on. That's
This
terrific.
came out in April. Yeah.
and just like a great cast and just really well done.
I'm totally down, dude.
Great action.
I've always been a fan of Richie. Like he's kind of like the Cockney action Wes Anderson. Like he's just got a certain vibe to him. Like obviously he's not, but
Mhm.
Oh, dude, Alan Richson's in it, man. And Carrie Elwes.
Yep. I don't mean to completely just throw.
no,
the
I mean
fucking
it's
podcast
of a
into,
piece, It's how Statham got his fucking break. It's like it's a adjacent genre, I think.
Well, there's DNA of Guy Ritchie in here with Statham.
Sure.
Alan Richson I'm a huge fan of this guy, and Reacher is so excellent, man. If you guys haven't watched that, I highly recommend it. Also,
Alan Richardson is fucking excellent. in this.
right? So, and Carrie Elwes is in this, dude, and he's great. Alex
Mhm.
Pettifer's good too, man. Wow, I think.
Fucking Babs Alyssa Monk.
Oh, and Till Schweiger's in it, man. The guy from Inglorious Bastards. Strangely enough.
yeah, he's great, dude.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm super into it.
I want to watch
Super
this like immediately.
Because his recent show, The Gentleman, was quite entertaining, and kind of the lead of that is Statham-esque in his stoic kind of vibes.
But The Gentleman was a movie.
No, it's
and
both.
then they made the series. It's both. It's a movie, and then they made the movie. Then they made a show that takes place in the world.
Yeah,
of
which I
The
never put two
Gentleman.
and two together because The Gentleman movie, it was fine, but I didn't really give a shit about it. That's the McConaughey one.
That's
And I
because
just find
you're a
it,
wanker.
yeah. It's confusing that they're named the same shit because they're not the same thing.
Are you wanking?
Are you wanking?
I am a little bit.
Are you? Gentleman was 2019.
You
And this-
wanker. You fat
You
little
filthy
wanker.
slut! How dare you!
Why don't you just keep eating pints of ice cream? Why don't you just keep doing that? Huh?
Holy shit! This is the British porn thing. Is like it's got a freaking heartbeat of its own.
Mind of its own.
Yeah,
That was that was my bad, Jason Statham, because
it was okay. It was really
what was
okay.
it? Nick Kroll did a
Yeah,
comedy
nice.
special,
I like Nick Kroll.
and and Nick Kroll's great. And he was talking about how like when he looks at himself in the mirror, and like the voice in his head that narrates all of his bad feelings about himself is Jason Statham.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
He's got a great voice. He's got one of the best voices, man.
You chubby
Yeah.
little wanker.
It's good.
I bet you're real proud of yourself for eating all that
You
ice cream
sound like
last
him
night.
and somebody else, and I can't put my finger on it. But yeah, that's good. It's good, dude.
It's totally ad lib.
No,
I'm
no,
just
it's
throwing
good.
it out
I like it.
there. I have not practiced that at all.
Okay, so all right, I really want to watch this Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare movie like immediately. Let's get back on track so we can
Terrific.
end
Let's-
this so I
let's
can go
finish
watch
this.
that. All right, so bits and bobs and bits.
Where were we though?
Yeah.
I'm happy to bits and bobs, but
We were just talking about the sort of the final act and the
Yeah,
yeah.
I was talking about
the crazy
yeah.
fucking crazy.
I was talking about the
Yeah.
ultimate agent
With the
concept,
ridiculous
and
facial
like
hair.
the sneaking past
Yeah,
everybody and like, disguises and stuff, it's nothing.
and he James Bond scubas out at the end too. Like he very much has some James Bondy shit going on here.
100%, dude. Really, really great. Yeah.
How did he
I
stash
love
the
it,
scuba
dude.
gear?
In the sand.
Does he just have like a setup like buried in the like every 50 miles on the coastline of the United
Yeah,
States?
exactly.
Every 50
Along the shore.
miles. I love it. Yeah.
6,000 of them
Every
along
15
the
miles
coast.
is another backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So, yeah, Bob's and Bits. Let's do it.
Minnie Driver, dude, as the CIA director.
Dang,
I love seeing some Minnie Driver
and
action.
I swear I have not that I've
I love her
actively
too.
I haven't
I
seen
haven't
her
seen
in
her
anything.
in anything since Good Will Hunting. I love her.
I've seen her since.
She's been in a million things that are just outside my wheelhouse. I had a look.
Interesting.
I love her. She's great.
Hang on one second. Yeah, I have not seen her in anything in a while. I don't think it was Good Will Hunting. I mean, she's great in that, but I feel like she just kind of dropped off the map. But that's not necessarily the case because I don't.
Nah, she's got a shitload of stuff. I think this is all.
Yeah, I don't
stuff
really
that's not in my
seek.
thing.
I don't
Not my
seek
thing.
her
You
out.
like apples?
You know what I mean? What's that, Ben?
You like apples?
What do you think
got
of
it
these
done,
apples?
How about them apples?
So good, dude.
So dumb. That's a great flick.
So
Such a
dumb.
ridiculous flick.
Oh,
But she's awesome.
Yeah.
Claire Huxtable, dude. It was
Totally.
great to see Claire Huxtable.
and she looked fantastic. And
Love
she
her.
looks so good,
Felicia
man.
Rashad.
I was like, I can't believe this woman looks this
She
good.
did look great.
Being as old as she is. I mean, she didn't even look that old. You know what I mean? And Christ, she was Claire Huxtable when I was a
Yeah.
kid in the 80s, bro. Like that was just
Yeah, that's
crazy,
it.
man.
No doubt, dude.
So there. Oh, you know what else she was? Sorry, I
Yeah,
kind of
there
got
and
stuck on her
stuff.
for a second. You know what she was really great in?
Man.
Gross Point Blank
Man.
with Cusack. That
yeah.
is a great movie.
Yep.
Talk about a hyper violent, crazy movie. That's a good one.
I need to revisit that one. But yep.
Who else is in this that's of note?
Do that.
I mean, you mentioned Irons, dude. I just,
Dude, I love when guys. I love when guys.
gotta love.
I love that
I
guy.
love him.
He
He's so
does
great.
just about anything, man. Like I loved seeing him.
Alan
I
Rickman's
loved seeing
brother.
him show up as exactly, man.
The
And I
Grubers.
loved seeing him show up as Alfred in those couple of Justice
Yeah.
League movies.
And Veidt in the Watchmen series, dude. I really liked him
Wait,
in that
what?
one too. He was Adrian Veidt, who was stuck on fucking Mars or whatever. When we watched The Watchmen, remember he was like had all these clones that were there, and he was trying to catapult himself out of the place. That
yes,
it's been a
yes,
long time
yes,
since you
yes,
watched
yes, I do.
but he was great in that.
Wow, you're right. Yeah, he is.
He's just great.
He's really.
He was great here too, and like he was just like, I like that he was kind of businessman feeble a little bit. Like he was like the power broker that like whimpers when his fingers get broken. Like not to saying I would do any different, but like he's like, I agree with you, and he just slaps his fingers and he's like, oh, and fucking falls down in the door frame at the end. Like he's not badass like a group like he was in Die
Sure.
Hard with a Vengeance, for example.
I think what I really like about Jeremy Irons is that he's unapologetic and he just looks like he's having fun with everything that he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he takes these roles and he just doesn't care, and he looks like he's having a ball while he's doing it. And I think that that's fucking great. So that's it.
Yep, totally agree, man.
Who else? There's no. We kind
So
of.
that's kind of
Well, we
casty
talked about-
bobs for me. Like,
I mean, I talked
everyone
about-
else is fine. You didn't like what's her name, and
No,
I kind of
I gotta stick
She
on
was
that for a
whatever.
second. I feel like, sorry in advance, but I feel like she wrote her own dialogue. It was so bad. Like it didn't fit with the rest
Yeah.
of what was going on in the movie. It did not fit with the rest of the dialogue in the movie. It's weird because I enjoyed her in The Umbrella Academy, as weird and sort of dumb as that show is. And in this, I really didn't care for it at all. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like the whole thing she had going on. It felt contrived, and it was bothersome, man, because it was such a simple, let's have fun making a crazy action movie where we blow a lot of shit up, So yeah.
yeah, there was a weird buddy cop thread in there. But
Unnecessary as well. Yes.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Wasn't a home run. Don't really, have much else to say.
Any thoughts on that, Ben?
Sorry.
No, it's all
Difficulty
right.
there.
I was just asking if you thought what
I'll
did
go,
you
bro.
think of Emily Raven Lampman?
I mean, no impression was left on me, but I've gathered from research that this was like one of her performance was one of the hang-ups people seem to have.
Oh, okay, so it's not just me.
That and the fact that she's wearing a Harvard T-shirt through like pretty much the entire thing.
What?
I don't know. People were like hung up on like God, does she shower? Like she's wearing the same fucking Harvard shirt for like 5 days or something.
Yeah, it was like she had
Just
this
nuggy.
kind of like Foxy Brown kind of Pam Grier thing going that she was going for, but it was kind of like, you're not Pam Grier or Foxy Brown, and she wasn't that clever. And I said to Chad when, I don't know if you heard it or not, I felt like she wrote her own dialogue.
I gotta hear you guys.
So yeah, I don't know. Not down. I liked her partner. He was. I liked him a lot. Yeah,
He was all right. Like the two of them, the FBI buddy cop shit was the weakest link here, but like I didn't really give a shit.
nor I.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't the focus. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually like, I don't know, we can dwell on it if we want to, but like, I think the thing for me is less about the actors and more like, it's kind of just like a nothing burger of a couple of characters, like they are there in the beginning because of the suicide. So they're like the local, well, it's her mom and she's FBI. There wouldn't be FBI there otherwise. So it's like a local thing. And then it escalates and the case gets so big that, the chief needs to call the fucking captain who's like and then all of a sudden the head of the FBI is there and they're they're out over their skis and okay, fine. But they're also like figuring all the shit out like buddy cop movies do. And no one else is figuring out what they've got going on. And then it like culminates with her deciding not to fucking shoot him at the end. Like it's just, I don't know. It's such a weird thread. Like I don't see the point of the morality thread at the end where it's like, and she chose justice over the law,
Well,
It's
look,
like, okay,
here's my take on it. They could have removed those two characters and the rest of the movie would have just been exactly the same. There's really no reason to have them in there. You know what I mean? Like if you, even from like
other than that final weird justification, the final decision to shoot or
not
shoot
even,
bullshit.
because even if you did like, okay, so I get it, it's her mom, but the justification for him going on the rampage, as he says himself, is it's personal. They killed my friend. You know what I mean? Like it was never about her or her mom. So like then you got to start asking yourself, why is she even in the movie, and why is the other guy in there too? Like it made less sense as I went through the story.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on and on about it, but I agree. I just think it was kind of the weakest link. Like I don't give a shit. It makes a certain amount of sense that it was there, but like whatever.
Yeah.
Or to your point, you mentioned Hutcherson before, who I was like, where the fuck do I know that kid from? And he was one of the leads in the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Fucking sextilogy or whatever many stupid ass movies. But he was, I don't know, I just loved how much of a slimy tech bro he was here. Dude. He was equally
a good, sleazy little tech
punchable.
bro. He did a really good job. I was really...
He kind of had a little bit of the parody of the tech bro stuff, the Silicon Valley show.
Yeah, and he
style
did a really good
parody
job
of
of making you hate him, and like that was his job. Like I couldn't stand him. I was like, ugh, so irritating, man. Tech bro.
I fucking hated him. Yep. I couldn't
He was
not
very
wait
angry.
to see
Yeah,
him
you
get it.
couldn't wait to see him get it. So by that estimation, great job, Josh. Yep.
Other bits and bobs, dude.
I mean, we talked
did.
about a lot of it. I would have gone with
Yeah.
the ratchet strap
Oh,
truck death.
dude,
like
That was great.
I will give that
amazing.
that ratchet strap. I've never seen anybody use a ratchet strap, and I mean for a couple of blokes like us that have done a lot of manual labor, it's like everybody here knows what a ratchet strap is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was very
Yeah.
satisfying, dude. Especially for that d bag.
Only Jason Statham, as an expert in the art of manliness, would have a ratchet strap that wasn't stuck and took 5 minutes to get open, like every other ratchet strap on the face of the earth. The one functioning ratchet strap on planet Earth was the one.
You know what?
Jason
I tell you,
Statham
you know what
has.
would have been funny in this movie? This might have worked too. Is if he had spent like a couple of minutes fiddle fucking with the strap, like everybody does. I mean, would that not have been
fucking
great,
cracked
dude?
up if I had seen that. It was just like a close up of his hands trying to open the fucking thing.
You just stand
Yeah,
right
exactly.
there. Hold on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Come on. Come on.
Feed it through.
Like, honestly, dude, my version of this movie is not Claire Huxtable getting killed. My version of this movie is me going on a rampage because my ratchet strap is fucked up. Like, that's my version of this movie.
Just going full nuclear.
Just going full fucking Grand Theft Auto rampage because of that. But it's like my tubby ass, like being like, fuck you, you know, like starting a rampage that ends 4 minutes later because I'm like wheezing.
That's also funny, yeah.
My only regret in about that scene is that sweet old beat up
Oh,
F-150.
that was a
sick
sacrifice
truck,
to make.
That got sacrificed.
It was,
yeah,
I mean,
that's sad.
It made me sad, but it was worth
Yeah,
it.
it was worthy,
It was
but in
worth
the
it, but
sense of
that's sad.
vehicles, it would have been great if he had used the land doucher to drive the kid off the bridge and kept the old pickup. You know?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I got to admit, I was kind of hoping he was going to drive that old thing around.
Totally, man.
That, yeah, very Gran Torino.
Maybe drive it through like the front of a house or something at some point, but yeah.
yeah, big rig style.
Yeah,
Big
there's
rig
something
style,
very
fucking-
gratifying too about a land doucher getting dispatched in that way. I mean,
Oh,
come on.
No doubt.
Oh, man. I could just watch that over and over
For a
again.
variety of
Especially-
reasons, yes.
This time of season on Nantucket, yeah, I could.
I can't. There's no season for it here. It's all the time. It's great. So okay, yeah, that was that truck was a beauty. I'll tell you what. I will say I
No
know there's no real mustaches per se in this movie. Certainly nothing to really warrant his whole steak and mustaches section. However,
That beardy thing with the African guy is pretty
yes,
great.
but what I was gonna just comment on was that I really liked Statham's beard. Chatham. I was. Oh my God. Statham's beard, I liked his beard because it had a really nice, healthy chuff to it, man. Like it was, it was tight, it was thick,
Sure,
it was
chuffy,
very
man.
chuffy.
It was full. It was not. It just looks like he grew it and didn't like scape it at all.
None,
you know, it's
no
just like
scaping
that's
at
just
all.
like it's like almost like up below
Yeah,
his
yeah,
eyeballs,
yeah.
you know.
Below his eye, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. It's like kind of wolfmanish, you know. Like it's
Oh, it's crazy. So yeah, shout out to the chuff.
if we're gonna mustache corner it, then mustache corner,
Go
steak
for
and mustache it. We got to. I mean, Lazarus had that. It's like Wolverine mixed with Johnny Ringo kind of facial hair
Okay.
thing going on.
Let me get a shot.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
cartoonishly
I
stupid
wanted to
looking.
get a look at that.
He kind of like had some. I don't think he even had gold teeth, but he seemed like he had a bunch of gold teeth. You know,
He did seem like he had a grill.
That would be
they
yeah,
were
that
like-
would fall. That would be in keeping with the character. So
Right. Maybe they were just diamond encrusted or zircon.
there you go.
yeah. There's definitely a grill or two in his drawer. Dude, I used to live down the street from this place in San Francisco called Mr. Bling Bling that only sold grills.
You
and it's
told us
still one of my
about that.
favorite
Yes,
shops in the
dude,
fucking
totally.
world. It was so great.
Wow. That is. Do you have pictures?
Maybe. I'll see if I can dig something up. It was right near Japantown in San Francisco. It was like a real rough fucking neighborhood. It's a great
Cannot
neighborhood.
find any pictures of this guy from this movie with that.
Mr. Bling Bling, jeweler, San
Yeah.
Francisco, California.
There you go.
Is it still there? I love it.
It's got like a little Lego guy with with a gold suit popping out of a gold top hat. It's
I love number
dollar
one. I
signs
love
and
that it
shit.
was a shop that just sold grills, and number two, I love that it's still in business. Fucking 15 years later, like that's how many grills they sell. I love it.
1836 Gary Boulevard.
Yeah, it's on Geary. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! Wow, look at this place.
Wow.
Holy shit.
You know what?
I've ejected you into a
What,
sweet,
Ben,
sweet spot.
What did you say this guy looked like, Ben? Kind of a combination between Wolverine and what?
Johnny Ringo.
Ringo.
His,
Johnny Ringo.
He doesn't look like that,
Yes.
but his facial hair is
his
those two
stash
things.
is definitely Ringo.
He's got the
It's tight,
stash,
too.
like, soul patch sort of combo. Of
He has
Johnny Ringo.
literal
He's got the-
pork chop sideburns, dude. Like that. I'm looking at a clip from the movie, and it's his side profile shot, and it literally looks like a pork chop on the side of his face.
It does. It does. It looks like somebody strapped 2 pork chops to the side of his head.
So good. You gotta love that, folks.
Black furry.
And that's the
pork
kind of
chops.
entertainment you get only right here on the EBD.
Steak and mustaches.
That's why.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's technically not a stash, but it's a worthy. It's got to have
It's
a
a
little
worthy
moment
shout
for
out
it.
for sure. All right. What else? Bits and bobs. Or is that it?
I think that's all the bits and bobs I got that come to mind. I kind of want to watch it again now, just to kind of bask in the action again,
bathe.
because that's the most bit worthy
Stupid.
stuff. Is all the random actiony shit.
Well, this is very, very gratifying.
Nuggets? You got any nugs?
I don't have any nuggets. There were not a lot of nuggets about this, and I was kind of glad. 'Cause I was
Yeah,
kinda
which is
burned
kind of
out on
nice.
Nuggets.
There's a couple of things that are, I think, nugget worthy, but I'm interested to be whether it should be shot down or not. One of which was the notes played on the piano are the same notes that Venkman plays in the first Ghostbusters
Really?
movie, which is like
That
this
is
is such
weird.
a weird. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing because he just hits the same key up high like 3 times, I think. So I don't fucking know. And then another one that was similar was the goat suit dude evidently says a bunch of lines from a bunch of different movies, including when he says, "I was just thrown through a plate glass window," is a quote from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I
Axel
remember
Foley says
that.
that. So like equally
is
kind of weird. So there's just kind of like a couple of weird shout outs in the movie, I guess. Maybe it's just a writer kind of nerding out or something.
Probably.
But
Considering his pedigree of writing the remake for Point Break and the remake for Total Recall.
that's what I mean. Like, so I don't know. They're kind of nugget worthy anecdotes, but they're kind of weird too. So
kinda weird.
yeah, there you go.
All right. Deaths.
Word.
Hang on while I pretend to look. I'm just pretending to
Yeah,
look
deaths.
around for my death sheet like I have an actual piece of paper that I write it on.
Your death note. You used to have a piece of paper,
no,
didn't you?
no, I have a sticky note that's like 8 miles long that I've used for a couple of years. Mhm.
Oh, on your computer.
So we only had one. Just you had a delightfully dead death.
I mean, Benny did just eject for Mr. Bling Bling. Like, I think that's
All right. I mean,
Legit death.
I did an ejection
Sure.
as well, so I could put one down also, I suppose.
I like the idea of there being a Mr.
I
Bling
do
Bling
like that
death.
too, actually. I like the name Mr. Bling Bling Death. It is good.
It's so good.
Well, if we see anybody with terrible bling in a movie, henceforth, we can call it a Mr. Bling Bling Death.
Yeah, we know what to call them.
All right.
Mr. Bling Bling.
So we all had one. It's a CBK.
Recommendations. I mean, I think it goes without saying that if you haven't seen this one, it's well worth a watch.
Oh,
It is
100%.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go into it understanding that it is silly.
Yeah, if you're
and
going
have fun.
down for a fun action movie with some cool sort of John Wickian style lore, secret organization, it's this, and you like an ultimate agent, like doing some ultimate shit, go see it. This is great. I loved it.
Shakespeare, this is not, although there is a to be or not to be
Oh,
That's true.
shit.
pun in this movie.
Oh, shit. I missed the
with
bee
that being
pun on
said,
that.
Just that being said, go ahead and watch it because it's stupid fun. It's good. Great action.
Stupid it
And
is.
well filmed.
Yeah,
action.
well filmed action. That's something we didn't really talk about a whole lot, but yeah.
And maybe that's the thing here is like, I love that movie making has gotten to the point where you can make a movie of this quality for 40 odd million bucks, like, which is a lot of money, obviously, but in movie budget space, it's not. And like,
It's
a lot of fun, dude. They didn't expect it to win. It was supposed to go straight to streaming and then it blew up. So I just love that it is kind of a viral hit
Yeah.
of a movie.
And I
fuck
was
me, it's
also,
fun.
when I was reading about it, like they were saying that, like Roadshow in Australia did not even want to distribute this movie because they thought it was going to be just a total bomb. And then apparently, like the movie that everybody was betting on to be a massive hit completely bombed. And this thing just completely blew up. Yeah, that was it.
Ferrari.
Totally.
With Adam Driver. I watched it. Like, it's not this. It's an interesting flick, but like there was no fucking world where Ferrari was going to be a blockbuster, dude. It's like a moody, weird ass Italian fucking 50s movie. Like there was no world where that was going to do well.
Yeah, Slave 2. What are we doing next week?
Next week, I think we should do, it's a 2 for Benny's Not Around. I think we should do the opposite of this movie, Civil War, The New Garland.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it would be interesting to just juxtapose it against this, because this is ridiculous and that is trying to be kind of like a pseudo documentary of also crazy shit. It's like the dark side of presidential kind of style political movies.
Let's do that.
It's worth checking out.
Good. So there you have it, folks. Next week we're gonna tackle the new Alex Garland film, Civil War. So tune in for that. Thanks for joining us for Beekeeper, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. See ya.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/265. Additionally, we would like to thank everybody that supported us these many years. We're very, very grateful for that. And for anybody new that is wondering how they can help us out, you can do so directly on Patreon. You can write us a nice review. And you can also tell people to check out the show. All those things work great, and we sure do appreciate it. So do that. And also, if you let me just wind that back. Also, folks, if you want to check us out on social media, Instagram is where we lurk. We use the handle @EBD Podcast, so come join in on the conversation. Thanks for joining us for The Beekeeper, and we'll see you next week for Civil War. So on for now, folks.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.